I'm up on Big Rock, right outside of Rainier National Park. Mount Rainier is behind me. I don't have any clue if you can see it or not. But this hike up to Big Rock is 1.7 miles up, and it's quite steep at times. It's a good hike for sure. And at the top is an old Forest Service lookout. It seems to be have a happy nest of bees in there. So yeah, watch out for the bees. I went inside and signed the guest book. So, but yeah, it's an amazing hike, an amazing place. The signage getting up here, it sucks. So yeah, I don't know how to explain that. There's a sign for Big Rock, but there's no sign where to park, where the trailhead is really. You have to look for it. There's a sign at the trailhead, but it's been shot up so much that you can't really see it. So you can't really see it from the road unless you're looking for it. But yeah, it's beautiful up here. I think I'm going to go over to Rainier National Park and check it out next. So this is the road to High Rock Lookout, and there's a lot of potholes. I would say this road is as bad or perhaps worse than some San Francisco roads. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I spent about a week on Mount Rainier and in and around Mount Rainier National Park. I spent 3 nights outside of the park boondocking, and I bought a Northwest Forest Pass, and with that you can basically camp in any of the forests of Oregon or Washington, and it also gets you into tons of day use areas. So it was $30, definitely worth it. Especially if you're boondocking anywhere around Oregon, Washington. And then I spent 2 nights in Rainier National Park at Cougar Rock Campground. And it's a nice campground, but here's a pro tip. There are no public showers in Rainier National Park. Yeah, I found that out. So there's no showers in the 2 parks that are there. The only showers, I guess, are in the hotels. So yeah, I was eager to find a place to shower after those 6 days. But it's a really beautiful place, so you need to make it there. So one of the amazing things about driving around Mount Rainier was that basically you would drive around the corner of the mountain and you drive right into a cloud. And so it was like all sunny 1 minute, and then the next minute it was foggy and misty, and you had to kind of slow down and watch where you were going. But I went up to Paradise, which is one of the bigger places. There's a lodge up there and stuff. And I did a hike up at Paradise, went to Panorama Point. And it's not very far. It's like, I think, 1.7 miles in one direction. And it's really, you get just amazing views of the mountain. It's really accessible. And there were several marmots running around. And those marmots didn't really care if you were around, and they're nice and fat. So luckily they're healthy and happy. But yeah, the mountain there is just incredibly beautiful. So yeah, if you just get up to Paradise, definitely do that. So one day on Mount Rainier, I drove to the east side of the mountain. And first in the morning, I drove from Cougar Rock Campground to Grove of the Patriarchs. And that was about an hour's drive, so it's pretty far. Hello, I'm just relaxing along the banks of the Ohana-Pikash River in the Rainier National Forest, or Rainier National Park. I just did a walk through the Grove of the Matriarchs. They actually mislabeled it as the Grove of the Patriarchs, but I think we all know they're the matriarchs. It's a beautiful grove of old-growth forest here in the national park, so yeah, it's really gorgeous. Yeah, just enjoying a walk in the river, just trying to cool off. It was really cool this morning, but now it's warmed up quite a bit, so yeah, just enjoying the day.
I'll be careful there. That's a good place for it. Where are you going, Megan? You know what we need? We need to build a dam over here.
In the afternoon, I drove to Sunrise, and Sunrise is absolutely beautiful. It's the highest point you can drive to on the mountain, and I did a long hike. I hiked up to Frozen Lake, which was not frozen. It was actually this beautiful aqua blue. Apparently, though, it usually is frozen. So, thanks to our global climate change, Frozen Lake is no longer frozen year-round. And then I hiked on from there. I was going towards, I don't remember the name, it was Berkeley Point or Berkeley something. And it was odd because it was kind of a warm day, and as soon as I got over this ridge, there was a really strong wind, and it was very cold. And I hiked for a while, but it was just way too windy and way too cold. So I probably hiked, at least 2.5 miles in one direction, but I was totally unprepared for that cold. So when I turned around and went back, as soon as I got back down under that ridge line, it was actually perfect again. It was really nice. But yeah, I would definitely recommend going to Sunrise if you can. And Grove of the Patriarchs is very accessible, so you should go there. After I left Mount Rainier National Park, I was basically just looking for a campground with a shower. And I went to Lewis and Clark Campground that was very close by on the east side of the mountain, or southeast, I guess. Good morning. I'm in the Lewis and Clark State Park in Washington. It's really close to Toledo, Washington, and it's a really nice, clean campground. But it's now Friday morning, and basically the place is deserted. There's no one here. It's a little bit expensive. It's $25 a night for a regular campsite, which I'm in, with no hookups or anything. And if you want hookups, it's $35 a night. But the thing with the hookups is they're across the street in a different place, in what's basically a grassy field, which is kind of, I don't know, a little bit sucky, a little bit expensive for what you're getting compared to, say, an Oregon State Park. But it is a really beautiful park. There's some short trails. There's a short trail up the hill for the old growth trail. It's really beautiful. A little short though. And if you're up early in the morning and you do that hike, just beware, you might get a big spider in your hair. You might. But yeah, except for the camp host, who is right over there, there's essentially hardly nobody here. So, I don't know, perhaps a jewel. I slept well. Today I'm going to Toledo, Washington. There's a Bluegrass festival, and yeah, it's the Mount St. Helens Bluegrass Festival. I'm going to spend the weekend there. yeah, really looking forward to that, and I'll give you an update on that. All right. Bye, bye, bye. What's really unusual about bluegrass festivals is that 80 to 90% of the people who come either play an instrument or sing, and they all bring their instruments, and basically all night long and all through the day, people in the parking lot or where all the RVs are parked, everybody gets together and plays in impromptu bands. So if you have the opportunity to go to a bluegrass festival, you really should. It was amazing, wonderful music. Yeah, had a great time. Last night I was there, I drank way too much. Totally feeling like crud for like the next day or so after. But hey, I loved it. It was great.